Okay, game three here, and there's a lot of attacks on the board. Well, not a lot, but just nasty ones. Cultist and Torture, and there's your bazaars, cities, and squires to provide plus actions to play lots of those things. Right, so that's what you want to do. I think you go for Cultist over Torturer just because you can flood your opponent more quickly. So how do you get there on 3-4? Well, you could go Spice Merchant Silver as is the classic way. Alternatively, um, what you can do is put your plan on 3-4, put your plan on Spice Merchant, and buy a Spice Merchant, trash your thing, and then buy a silver and then go from there. That seems to be reasonable too. If you trash one of your shelters, you have a better chance again to 5. Alternatively, you could just open with 5, as my opponent did, and goes for the cultist there, and I presume the 2 is going to be a squire. So with plan, you can also trash squire to gain attacks. That's something to keep in mind. So seeing the cultist here, I have to play around it, right? I have to see what I could do here. So I do go for the plan on the Spice Merchant, and I am going to buy the Spice Merchant on this turn, getting rid of the hovel, right? So there's two things, two shelters left, the Necro and the Overgrown Estate, and there's soon going to be ruins. Hopefully my opponent has a bad shuffle and have a little bit of time to consolidate my position here. So, no cultist this turn for my opponent, just the squire here, gaining a silver, and 4 is going to be plan this time on the... Is it our plan? Yeah, the plan on the cultist here. So here I play the Necro. What I could have done and what I didn't think about immediately was buy a second Spice Merchant to get rid of the Necro. That would have been reasonable. Anyways, now I'm gonna move the token here, plan token over to the squires because they're cheap, and if I buy a lot of them, then I can trash quite a few things from my hand here. So I do plan to buy one here and get rid of the Overgrown Estate, as I accept a Ruins. My opponent now gets the Spice Merchant, so they're gonna come along on the trash in here with me. And I need to be very, very careful. Like I already messed up with that, potentially messed up with that Necropolis play earlier there. So I have to be very, very careful on how to play around this, especially that I'm in the back. Like I need money to get to the cultist, which I don't have yet. But the reason why I moved it over to the squire also is not just because it's cheap, but because the squire can gain me silvers, which will get me up to 5 for cultist and anything, whatever I want. Right, so that's why I moved the token there. Still just trying to play around this, yeah, 5-2 opening for my opponent. So Spice Merchant gets to trash something, that is very good. Here I play the ruined library thing, and here, so I could have made the play here, right? Buy squire, trash squire, gain cultist. Instead, I go for something different, probably worse. I go for gaining a silver with the squire instead, and this I feel is the biggest mistake I made in this early exchange. I put the plan on the cities. I should have put the plan on the cultists like my opponent. Because you have to buy cultist. If you don't buy cultist, don't. Why did you buy city? You should buy cultist. If you don't buy the cultist, you're going to get swamped with ruins, and then you're just gonna lose the game. I bought the city because I could trash the ruins, right? But that wasn't the right thing to do. I was supposed to buy the cultist there, and at least return some ruins back to my opponent, slow them down, right? Right now they're playing completely unimpeded, and they're just building their deck very nicely. They have a couple cultists already. I think this is going to be a third cultist. Yeah, there you go, a third cultist. And what do I have to show for it? One silver, one city. Sure, the city is gonna draw 2 cards in time. By that time, I probably will draw 2 ruins with it. So yeah. That I didn't consider quite a few things in the early exchanges there, like getting rid of that necropolis. Maybe I should have kept the trashing token on Squire for quite some time until like maybe I had two cultists, then I could move it over to cultist or maybe city at that point is more suitable. But definitely here I think the one that I feel like really set me back a lot is putting that token on the cities instead of the cultists. Yeah, I think that one was just very, very bad. My opponent here now is in a very nice position, having three cultists in their deck, getting thinner every turn, second Spice Merchant and Torturer. I don't think you really need the second Spice Merchant. Torturer, yeah, perfectly reasonable, fine. Here, look, still no cultist. Still no cultist because I could play against cultists, right? I'm a superstar. I could play against cultists, and now here comes the torturer, and I have to start making some decisions here. And soon enough, my opponent is going to buy another torturer. Gold here instead of the second torturer for my opponent. I mean, I would have gone for a second torturer there, but the gold is fine as well, as it allows my opponent to pick up I think two fives on the next turn here, which is something like City and Torturer or something. So at this point in the game, it is very clearly one-way traffic. Um, Not a lot going on for me, while a lot is going on for my opponent. Yeah, there's the 11 and two fives is going to be... Oh, City and Gold, rather. Yeah, the City's going to draw very soon, right? Because my opponent has the Cultist and is going to empty. So yeah, adding payload is fine. I would have put Torture as my payload and go for Outpost. I mean, how to build it is what you want it to look like is obvious, right? Lots of cities and some draw by a cultist and torturer, and then you want the outpost, and then you work from there. Right? Your payload is probably golds. I don't know if you can get Miser to work. I don't think you can get Miser to work, not with the cultist opening. So yeah, that's the deck that you want to build, but how to get there is a little bit of finesse, a little bit of skill. And yeah, look at this. Look at so many brown cards. So many brown cards. Again here another city, which is okay, fine. Now the city is fine, but yeah, my deck is in a shambles, and I resign in short order here. I don't think there's any coming back from this. Yeah, Torturer. Now I'm starting to gain curses. Yeah, things don't look good for me, and my opponent could just waltz home at this point. They come up with enough for double province here, so it probably would have been over in 4 more turns. So just to save us a bit of time, I give them this turn and decide to click X on this game. So game 3 ends like this, and thanks for watching. See you in the remaining games of the round 2 here.